A segmented bar graph is a very good way of illustrating categorical data. It's easier to draw than a pie chart, and takes less time to draw than a bar graph. So it's a very convenient and easy way to do graphs of categorical data. Here's an example. We have a distribution of class for people on the Titanic. We had first class passengers, second class passengers, third class passengers, and crew. There were 325 in first class, 285 in second class, 706 in third class, and 885 crew, for a total of 2,201 people on board. And we can express these counts as a percentage of that total. If we divide 325 by 2,201 and express that as a percent, that's 14.8% of all the people on board. The second class passengers made up 12.9% of all the people on board. The third class passengers made up 32.1% of all the people on board, and the crew made up 40.2% of all the people on board. And these percentages add up to 100, as they should. Sometimes the percentages calculated this way might not add up to exactly 100% because of rounding error in one or more of these categories, but it's a minor issue. Okay, if we want to illustrate these counts or these percentages with a segmented bar graph, it's not too hard to do. What we're going to do is we're going to take this 100% right here, and we're going to make a bar that represents that total of 100%, and then we're going to break up the bar into segments that correspond to these percentages. So this is what it looks like. We have the class on the Titanic, that's our variable here, and we have an axis up here that represents percents from 0 up to 100, and then we have our 100% of the people on the Titanic broken up into the four groups. This is first class, second class, third class, and crew, and you can see that there's a key over here. For first class, you see how it's shaded that matches the shading for in the bar graph itself. Second class is shaded like to indicate which class is in the which class is second class in the bar. Here's third class and fourth and crew rather. And the nice thing about this is that it's very easy to draw this big bar and to subdivide it into these segments. It's much easier than drawing separate bars for each category of your variable, and it'd take you less time. So it's a very convenient thing to do if you encounter any kind of categorical data problem on your AP Stats exam. You might want to consider this method as a way of illustrating the data rather than making a bar graph, and certainly you wouldn't want to do a pie chart. There's definitely no time, and you're not going to have a protractor available anyway. It's very nice if you are artistic. You could indicate the different classes with different colors and shade in your segments with those colors and illustrate the you can make the key that way. So it's very nice if you're artistic. You could even put little pictographs in the different categories if you have some sort of an icon or something that represents, it wouldn't be representative of the class. You could put, for instance, dollar signs for the first class category or something like that. But it's pretty much up to you how you want to do that. I recommend that when you put the classes or the categories of your categorical variable in your bar graph that you have them arranged the same way in your key so that things match up directly and it's easy for people to understand which category is which.